FTW.
FTW Broadcasting here for the win. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a 1v1 for you, epic Procast. mouzMana versus LiquidTLO. My name's AWOL, and joining me as always is my boy Danny. Nice sportsmanship there in the chat box. This is game 2 in this matchup between these heavyweights. If you haven't checked out game 1, go check it out right now. It's in that video response below. So let's do with the introductions. mouzMana playing as the blue Protoss here in the top right of Xel'Naga Caverns. He is an amazing Protoss player, but man oh man does he have his work cut out. Let's look at the Batman of Starcraft 2. LiquidTLO down here at the bottom, otherwise known as the Little One, hailing from Germany. You got to be happy, your boy's back.
Absolutely, I like that. The Batman of Starcraft 2. That's really good. Can I steal that?
Yeah, you could definitely steal it. I mean, the guy does everything under the sun. Super intelligent, great micro. I mean, you can never predict what he's going to do, and he's a nice guy by day, but he kills people in StarCraft 2 by night.
Yeah, I know, and that's what he does for a living, and I love that. And I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous as well.
I love this banter in the chat from Mana and TLO. They're just kind of, you know, talking it up, chatting it up, and basically doing. Still with all that chatting up, you see the average APMs at 200 and 150, and
yeah.
It just shows you the level these players are on, and it's just crazy. And I liked what they were talking about. They were basically talking about LiquidTLO is complaining about a lot of people play StarCraft that seem to don't like it and complain about it. And I think that's just a BattleNet thing, but as we see, TLO is going with the earlier expand here. Looks like he put down the hatchery at about 14, so we're going for the heavy macro game here, which is different than what we saw in the last map, which was Steps of War, which is good for the rush. We saw him 10 pool there, so you know, good to see he does like to switch up his play a lot. He doesn't do the same thing twice almost ever, so he's really hard to play against.
Oh my gosh.
I'd imagine.
I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again because I think it's kind of funny. That man will find a way to proxy a supply depot to his advantage. By the way, proxy pylon, speaking of proxy, being dropped already by mouzMana. mouzMana dropped his gate at 12, and ooh, TLO saw it. Sneaky, sneaky. All right, so these guys are having a fun match here on BattleNet, and I like that. The Forge also being dropped by mouzMana, so maybe he was planning on dropping a photon cannon, has to cancel out that proxy pylon down there at the bottom left because TLO spotted and brought some drones over to thwart that strategy.
Oh yeah, we still have some hot work on worker action here. The drone's chasing after this probe, so he left 2 drones on that probe. He wants to make sure it goes down. Get that surround off on that probe. Kill it! Kill it, TLO!
Oh, it's regenerating its shields, baby. Oh yeah! And running across here, going to scout everything out, going to see that spawning pool is up and running. Of course it is at this point. TLO now going to be able to, he's pumping out a queen at his expansion on the defend, and he's going to be able to rack in a whole bunch more minerals because his expansion's up, but mouzMana decides to mirror that strategy and drops his own expansion with a nice little photon cannon there to protect it. So mouzMana not really producing too many units right now, only 1 zealot, which is just kind of scouting around.
Yeah. But he did that because he saw that TLO was expanding early, so he was not going to be able to make that many units. He knew he was capable of doing that. The 1 zealot in this photon cannon will most certainly hold off those that handful of zerglings if he micros it all right. So he knows he's safe. He knows he can't lose the macro game. So he expands. I think he makes the right choice, and I think it's not going to matter because he's still going to lose to TLO.
No, he's not. mouzMana is the man, and he dropped. By the way, he dropped his assimilator down kind of late, by the way, at 20, and TLO didn't drop his assimilator down until 28, but that's to be expected when you quick expand like that.
Yeah, definitely. So we're kind of in the little calm before the storm here. TLO getting rid of these rocks. I hope to see he puts an expansion here, because when both players on this map put expansions here and try to hold the gold, it just makes for incredible, crazy matches because you have both armies on both things. Quick stalemates, just giant flashes of the expansions going away. It's just really good. It makes for a really good game, and I hope that's what we get to see.
I hope that's what we get to see too. I don't think this thing's going to end anytime soon. Neither one of these guys has a really sizable force. Just a handful of zerglings here from TLO, which will be easily repelled rather by these 2 photon cannons and 2 zealots over here from mouzMana. So this thing's going to last. Look at that. Risky expansion here from LiquidTLO in the center of the map at that high yield, man. He
loves the high yield. He goes for it. He doesn't, he doesn't subscribe to danger, I guess. He's just like, I'm just going to get this high yield, and I dare you to try and stop me.
Oh boy, this Zergling's getting right here on the mineral line, taking down only one probe, but immediately getting pushed away by these photon cannons. There's only 2 zealots and a sentry here to deal with this, but that sentry's going to be able to force field block these kids as they try to come in on this mineral line, easily repelled by mouzMana.
Yeah, that sentry being ranged is going to just keep those Zerglings from zoning the probes out. But they are going to run in. They're trying to pick off a probe, but basically he needs to get some stalkers out there and really push those Zerglings away. But the Zerglings have to pull back, so in the end it all worked out. But TLO looks like he's just producing still just Zerglings though.
He is. Well, he's investing in them quite a bit here with the metabolic boost and also getting the ground carapace level 1 upgrade. And, I mean, he's dropping a lot of money into these expansions right now. He doesn't have the money yet to get his army, but he's really going to start pulling away if he's able to successfully mine that high yield.
Yeah, absolutely. He gets that saturated. He got it pretty saturated already. Immediately ran to it. He knows how valuable it is. You almost want to mine that one out as quick as you possibly can because it's so dangerous and hard to hold. And we see the Zerglings pounding at the back door here. They're going to get chased away by the Stalker, no doubt. He definitely, Mana does not want to lose that back door, but he needs to be aware of it. He needs to get a pylon over there so he can keep an eye on it, because he needs to be aware of what TLO is doing, and he definitely doesn't want someone coming in the back door here.
Oh, no, he doesn't. And looks like mouzMana's strategy is revealed once again. 4-gate once again. Not a bad strategy. And by the way, the Stalker taking out this little scout overlord here in the middle of mouzMana's base. So TLO knows exactly what's up. 4-gate is what's up. And, I mean, is that valuable information? Yes, it is. Is it to be expected a lot of the time? Sure. But we got Speedlings running across the map here. Gonna probably stream right into this natural expansion of mouzMana. He's got a bunch of cannons, a couple Stalkers here. Nice force field micro there, blocking them off from coming in through the main gate, blocking them off from the mineral line as well. Virtually no probes were killed in that battle. The Zealot does go down though, but this is just such super micro from mouzMana.
Yeah, I hate to give your guy credit, but that was just perfect force field placement. Like, that was the perfect way to counter what TLO just did, and if your Protoss, get good with force fields, because they win games.
You said it again. You've said it once and you'll say it again, right? I mean, they are just absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
and,
that's going to be my catchphrase.
I like that. I kind of like it. Weapon upgrade getting upgraded right now for mouzMana. Always a good first upgrade to pick up. Also, hallucinations on the production tab. Dropping down that Twilight Council as well. So he's probably going to be heading over to some Blink or some Charge. But here's the story right now. TLO starting to drop down that Spire.
Yeah, so that looks like his next plan going with heavy Zerglings and Mutalisks, so he'll have the economy to afford it. I think with these 3 expansions, you see him gassing up heavily, dropping gas all over the place. It looks like he tried to, he looks like I missed it. He tried to break in up north. I want to see how that worked. It looks like he lost a lot of Zerglings in that. Oh, maybe not. He just lost a couple. There they are. I'm completely missing them. He's got about 70 Zerglings on the map.
That is a ton of Zerglings, but look at that units lost right now. Dead even, 550 and 550. Both of these players are so freaking perfect with their micro. I love watching these battles. These Stalkers moving into sort of a pro carry situation here because these Zerglings can easily get us around. Those Stalkers need to stay off that creep because they are way too fast there. That is a boatload of Zerglings. And they're headed across the map right now. No doubt TLO has to get aggressive with these.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that the units lost or the Gosu tab is so low. I don't like it when it is. I like my games with very high Gosu.
Me too. I like Gosu. God, look at those Gosu force fields. Perfect placement and timing once again by mouzMana. Mana applying super amounts of pressure here at this south expansion, taking out this newly acquired expansion from TLO. It never really got up and running, but as these Zerglings come in from behind, these Stalkers are in terrible shape. However, they do get the Blink upgrade just came into play. And will they be able to blink out of this situation? They're all kinds of surrounded right now. They're in all kinds of hurt. And he's saying yee, meaning probably yay, as in his stuff's getting killed, sarcastically.
Maybe he's, that first Blink, I think he got a little overexcited. That Blink finished, it was just a little premature. If he had gone up the ledge, he'd been in good shape, but he got surrounded. He's losing all those Stalkers. He did break that expansion, but it's just going up again.
Oh, disgusting on that unit's lost tab. 3,000 lost right now for mouzMana. Only 1,200 with LiquidTLO, being extremely efficient. Man, that hatchery is back up and running. TLO is macroing it up.
Yeah, and well, that's not that surprising when we saw him put down the 14 hatch and just kind of relax and hang back. We got to know he was going for the micro, especially when we saw him get this this high yield so early, and he's had it for so long at this point. He can just macro up like crazy.
Absolutely, you can. We do see a Robo-Bay having been dropped by mouzMana, but not really pumping out the Immortals at this point, because that would be a bad decision. I wouldn't mind seeing a Colossus on the field, given the just sheer amount of Zerglings that he's up against. I mean, look at these things, and the creep tumors being dropped down. We see all kinds of Overlords pooping out creep in the center of the map, being able to surround the center. I've said this a bunch of times before. You surround the center with creep like that, you have control over the game.
Yes, of course. Or so you want to get that creep super highway. Look, this is a really nice highway. It means he can get his reinforcements in like super fast. He's got control of the battlefield. And you said that Robo-Bay that went down, and I definitely want to see him pump out a Colossus, and we see the Colossus there. That's what he needs to deal with these Zerglings. But the Mutalisk will be a problem.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. These Stalkers are coming in right now to harass a little bit. Oh gosh, the Swarm is coming and bearing down on these boys. Get out of there. A couple Stalkers do get caught in the fray, and they get completely murdered as they were unable to do anything there. And mouzMana is really just kind of backed in a quarter in a defensive position. This is just disgusting, the size of this TLO army.
Yeah, I actually thought TLO was going to go Mutalisk when he dropped that Spire. Apparently I was wrong. He's just not. He's decided to go Infestors, which are a nice complement to the Zergling army. Absolutely. There's a few Roaches sprinkled in there for flavor. That's nice.
I like that. And a couple of Hydras. He's bringing the Overlords along. He's coming in here. Straight up FTW from the front. Nice force field placement, splitting that army in half. The Colossus is now going to start to be able to lay down damage. The Zerglings are successful in breaking the line in the back and taking down all kinds of probes in the mineral line. They are going to be forced to pull back purely because of the Colossus. Just is such a powerful unit. Some people argue that it is OP, but really I love it because it just murders the Zerglings. And mouzMana kind of getting brave and pulling out here. And I'm a little skeptical of this move, but I guess he's got to get aggressive at some point. And these Zerglings are going to be able to get effectively get us around. Here comes the force field. Take it over, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. We get a nice concave going there. Force fields are in good place, though. But I think just the mass of Roaches is going to end up forcing mouzMana to back. The Colossus finally goes down. The Roaches were a nice choice once he saw the Colossus. Roaches are a little stronger than the Zerglings. Zerglings just melt when the Colossi show up. So he decides not to press his luck. Good choice. And now we see Corruptors coming out on the field with a Greater Spire. So TLO going to go Broodlords?
I guess he is at this point. That's a pretty good guess, and I'm going to keep my eye on the production tab and see if any of those come out. And TLO continuing with the upgrades, the ground upgrades right now. He's at 2-1. He's going to be moving over to 2-2 very soon. And the Greater Spire, you're right, is going up. And TLO is just in such a dominating position. I'm going to take a look at that income tab. And
well, it looks like we have an engagement here. mouzMana actually moved in to engage with those Stalkers and Colossi. Taking a good bit out, but that is a huge concave of Roaches and Hydras. So the Colossus goes down. The Stalkers go down. I'm not sure what his overall goal there was.
I'm really disappointed with mouzMana's decision to move out in the open like that, knowing that TLO was in sort of a dominating position, but maybe, I mean, he was saying earlier in the chat box, got any advice? Because maybe he basically had already given up on the game.
Yeah, it seems like that. And he said, and TLO's advice was, do what White Raw does. And that's probably really good advice.
Because White Raw is amazing. He does kill people in StarCraft 2 for a living, so you got to give him that. And it looks like this game is pretty much over. Just a little bit of chat between these guys. And, you know, I do like the friendly banter. I do like that.
Yeah, I like that. It's good. It's really good sportsmanship, and you just don't see it on BattleNet, but you do see it with a lot of the pros and high-level players. So the community at that point is really, really nice, and they're just kind of talking. And boy, he's whining, saying I'm whining about being the worst, and I expect a GG out of him just in a few seconds here, because that's just the way. That's just good sportsmanship.
Debating about balance and whatnot. I mean, these guys, they got it made. They are so good in StarCraft 2. Oh, the fungal growth being dropped down on the probes there. Just an extremely painful death. And there it is. There's the GG. Nice sportsmanship from these guys. LiquidTLO dominates 2-0 in these friendly matches. And I got to tell you what, he ripped it up on the macro level this game. And that is what propelled TLO to the victory. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. His macro is where it's at. I say absolutely a lot. Do you notice that?
You do say absolutely, absolutely.
I like it's a good work. Whatever. It's a good word. Whatever. Anyways, TLO, the macro wins him the game. I contest that he would have won the game more winningly if he was Terran.
I don't know. I'm not sure if you've seen a lot of his insane Zerg tactics, but I'm a really big fan of LiquidTLO's Roach Micro. If his burrow, unburrow,
I'm not
then
interested
it's
in
super
any of
hilarious
that.
to watch. I love that. Anyway, you're not just all Terran all the way for you, huh?
There are no other races.
There are no other races. All right, I'm gonna cut you off and do the outro. Thanks for watching these Procasts, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate you watching Batman take it down. Hey, if you want to subscribe to our channel, just click in the center of the heart there. That'll be Danny doing a dance, and that'll be you subscribing. Thank you so much. Also, if you want to check out our YouTube channel, there's a blue link down there in the bottom left-hand corner. And also, we have a LiquidTLO playlist put together already. If you want to check out his other replays, mostly from his Terran days, but we're going to start racking up more replays with him in his Zerg days. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay tuned for more hot StarCraft 2 action.